Here are some of the numeric functions we might use quite often. Abs or absolute always return positive number. Round rounds off to specified precision. It can be 2 or 3 decimals to which we want to round it off, and we can use round for that. Typically round is used on top of average, sum, etc. Ceil or floor always return integer. Ceil will return next integer. Floor will return prior integer. Greatest will give us greater of all the numbers that are passed to it. Sum or average will give us sum or average of the numbers either within a group, or we can even use them for total aggregations. Min and max will give us the min or max of given numbers. These can be used on top of strings, dates as well. However, with respect to sum or average, we typically use it on numbers only. Random will give us a random decimal number. POW will give us the power of the number. So if we say 2, 3, it will actually return 8. Square root will give us the square root of a given number. Some of the functions highlighted are aggregate functions. Examples are sum, average, min, max, etc. And also min, max, etc. can be used on top of dates, strings, etc. Now let's load the SQL magic, and then let's create this environment variable called as database underscore URL. This is how apps will look like. It will just take one argument, either a negative number or a positive number. It always return the positive number. When it comes to order items, we have order item, order ID, order item subtotal, and other attributes. In case if you want to get the revenue for a given order ID, this is how the query will look like. You can see the output. You can see there are so many decimals. We will see how to leverage round by passing the desired number of decimals to streamline how this output is displayed. You can also use sum. In this case, I am trying to use sum on each and every group of order item subtotals for each and every order ID. That's why I have group by order item order ID and order by order item order ID here, so that data is also sorted. You can see the order revenue using sum. Here also, for some of the order revenues, there are so many decimal points. We can leverage round, and we can round it off to the desired number of decimals, either 2 or 3 based upon our requirement. Now comes round, floor, and ceil. When it comes to round, this will return 11 because we haven't specified any number of decimals which we want to see, which means it will round it off to the nearest integer. If it is more than half, it will go to the next number. If it is less than half, it will go to the prior number. So in this case, it will be 11. When it comes to floor, whether it is more than half or less than half, it will always give us the prior integer, which is nothing but 10. Ceil will always give us the next integer, which is nothing but 11. So this will actually return 10, 11 for floor and ceil. With respect to round, it have written 11. Round also takes the number of decimals you want to see. In this case, as I am trying to get only one decimal, as this is more than 5, it will return the next number of this, which is nothing but 10.5. If this is less than 5, then it will be 10.4. So in this case, this will be 10.5, this will be 10, and this will be 11. When I say this and this, I am talking about floor and ceil. So 10.5, 10, and 11. Typically, round is used on top of average. You can see we are trying to get average of order item subtotal. We have to typecast to numeric in Postgres like this, and we should be able to round it off to 2 decimals. So round off, average is the first argument, and then number of decimals we want to see is second argument. You can see the output here. This is with respect to the sum. You can see the output here. Same approach, round off, sum of, order item subtotal, typecast to numeric. Then the second argument is nothing but number of decimals, which is nothing but 2. You can see that all the order revenues are only 2 decimals now. We can get greatest of all the numbers by using greatest function like this. This will return 12. Now let's say this is 10, 11, and 10.5. This will return 11. This is an example with min and max. Here we are not only trying to get the revenue for each order ID, we are also trying to get a minimum of order item subtotals as well as maximum of order item subtotals for each and every order ID. You can see the output here. This is order revenue sum rounded off to 2 decimals. This is a minimum and this is maximum. With respect to 1, there is only one record. That's why we see same values with respect to sum, min, and max. However, with respect to order item already 2, there are 3 items. The sum of those 3 items is this one, minimum of all the 3 is this one, and maximum of all the 3 is this one. This is how we should be able to get min and max for each order ID from our order items dataset. We can use random function to get a random decimal number. However, if you want to typecast it into integer and generate numbers from 1 to 100 or 1 to 10, you can still use this, but you need to first multiply with 100, then increment by 1. Let's see the output of the random first. You can see that it always returns a decimal. or floating point number. If you want to get some integer from 1 to 100 using random, this is how it will look like. You can say random multiplied by 100. It will give something such as 72 dot something. You can typecast to integer, it will return 72. Then you can actually increment by 1 to get a number between 1 to 100. So this will always return 1 to 100. In case if you want to get some integer between 1 to 10, you can just say multiply by 10 and you should be able to get something between 1 to 10. If you want to get something between 1 to 8, I'm not 100% sure that it will work, but you can give it a try. You can validate. There should be some approach similar to this to get some random number between 1 to 8. But with respect to 1 to 10, 1 to 100, 1 to 1000, etc., this approach will work. So this will always return a number between 1 to 100. Random multiplied by 100 plus 1. This is very important, otherwise you will get numbers between 0 and 99. You can use POW and square root like this. POW always returns float. In case if you want to convert to integer, you can typecast using this approach. Square root anyway have to be float because with numbers like 5, 6, etc., there will be decimal points, and hence it has to be float only. This is how you can leverage POW and square root to get the desired output. So this is how you should be able to use some of these very commonly used numeric functions to fulfill your requirements while writing the queries.